petal. Check out QuranIcLearning.com for products and extra educational resources.
Assalamu alaikum, young scientists! Today, we're going to learn about flowers. How do they grow? What do they need to live? And what their purpose is. Because remember, Allah made everything with a purpose. Let's go! Some flowers are so tall. And some flowers are so short. Some flowers are purple. And some flowers are pink. They come in all different shapes and sizes. But they all have something in common. And today, we're going to explore how they help the world around us. Flowers are important for me and for you. And for your mom. And your dad. For everybody. Flowers are part of a plant. And plants help us breathe. Subhanallah. Plants take in carbon dioxide and they give out oxygen. And guess who needs oxygen to breathe? We do. We need oxygen to breathe. We take in oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide. The opposite of what plants do. Subhanallah. So plants breathe in their own kind of plant way. Every seed came from a flower that came from a seed. It's a cycle, a plant's life cycle. Have you ever wondered what happens when you plant a seed? Even though we can't see it, a lot is happening underground. When a seed gets the right amount of sun and the right amount of water and the right amount of air, carbon dioxide, it starts to germinate. That means it begins to grow. Allah made every living thing from water. And without water, that seed would never grow. Allah is Al-Khaliq, the Creator. He created everything with a purpose. He created the earth, where seeds are planted. He created the sun that gives light and warmth to the seed. And He created rain, which gives water to the seed to drink. Subhanallah. And of course, He created the seed itself and knew exactly what that seed was going to turn into and exactly who that seed was going to feed. Subhanallah. The first thing, hey, you're blocking my face. I can't see anyone. Much better. The first thing to grow out of a seed is a tiny root. And that root is going to grow and grab onto the soil because its job is to hold the plant in place and drink up all the water and nutrients from the ground. Roots are hidden underground and we don't usually see them, but sometimes we can eat them, like carrots and beets and radishes and onions. They suck up all the water and nutrients from the soil, and when they're done, you can pluck them from the ground. Come take a look. Next, a stem starts to grow, and it grows up and up and up and reaches for the sunlight. And the stem's job is to take all the water and nutrients from the roots all the way up to the rest of the plant. And then leaves start to grow. And leaves are really important because they make food for the plant. Wait, is that right? Hold on. I hope that's correct. Is it true? Do leaves make food for the plants? It is true. Leaves make food for the plant. Subhanallah. This process is called photosynthesis. Yes. That's a big word, but here's what it really means. Okay, listen carefully. Inside the leaves, there's a special part called chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is what makes the leaves green. But that's not all. Chlorophyll also helps the leaves catch sunlight. And with that sunlight, it can make its own food. When the sun shines on the leaves and takes carbon dioxide from the air and water from the roots, it mixes all together and makes sugar, which is food for the plant. So the sun is really important for a flower to grow. Do you think a flower would grow if it was dark all the time? Hey, can you turn on the lights, please? Thank you. No, a flower can't survive without sunlight. Do you think a flower would grow without air? No, a flower can't survive without air. And neither could we. Do you think a flower would survive without water? No, it wouldn't survive without water. Remember, Allah made every living thing from water. Do you think a flower would survive if I took all the leaves off? No, it won't survive because it needs leaves so it can catch the sunlight. So leaves plus sunlight plus carbon dioxide plus water equals food for plants. That was a lot of math. Who knew leaves were so important? And now that the plant has leaves, look, flowers are able to grow. Oh, that's me. Hold on. Assalamu alaikum? I'm kind of in the middle of a video. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I'll tell them. I just learned that we also eat leaves. Like lettuce and spinach and mint and parsley and cilantro. Wow, we really do eat all parts of a flower. Look at all the leaves that are growing. We have kale and lettuce and so many different types of leaves. Bees love flowers. Do you know why? Well, flowers have nectar in them. It's kind of like candy, but for bees. It's sweet and juicy, and bees love nectar. While they eat nectar from flowers, they get pollen all over their fuzzy legs and bodies. Pollen is a yellow powder that helps flowers make more flowers. Because remember, every seed came from a flower, that came from a seed, that came from a flower, that came from a seed. Yeah, it's a cycle. A plant's life cycle. Now when bees go from one flower to another, some of that pollen falls off into the new flower. And that's called pollination. Pollination is really important to make more flowers. And bees are pollinators. Look, the bee is drinking nectar with his long tongue. And look at all that yellow pollen on his fuzzy legs. Now he's going to fly to another flower to get its nectar. And all that pollen, it's gonna go into that new flower, and that flower is gonna make seeds. And those seeds are gonna make new flowers. That's called pollination. There are so many helpers: bees, butterflies, ladybugs, oh, even the wind, and bats. They're all called pollinators. When the wind blows, some of the pollen in this flower might end up in this flower. Bats! Bats are also pollinators. When bats fly around at night, they visit flowers to eat their nectar. And then some of that pollen in that flower might stick onto their fur. And when they fly to another flower, some of that pollen will fall off. And that's how seeds are made. But that's not the only thing that sticks onto their fur. Seeds! Seeds can also stick onto animal fur. When an animal walks by a flower or visits a flower, some of the seeds can stick onto their fur. And when they walk along, they spread the seeds. That's called seed dispersal. And anything can spread seeds. An animal, the wind, even you. Have you ever blown on a dandelion? When you blow a dandelion, you're sending all those seeds into the air, and wherever they land, they're going to make more dandelions. SubhanAllah, even you can help spread seeds. So animals and insects play a very important role in making seeds and spreading them. SubhanAllah. Let's pretend I'm a flower. And a little squirrel is bouncing through the forest, sniffing around for some acorns. And he brushes up right next to me. Some of my seeds are going to stick onto his fur. And as he bounces off on his little squirrel adventure, he's actually helping me spread my seeds to make more flowers. Thanks, little guy. Good luck trying to find some acorns. That's called seed dispersal. And anything can be a seed disperser. A squirrel, a bee, a moose, anything. Without bees and insects and other animals helping flowers make more flowers, it would be a very flowerless world. Then your dad can't buy your mom flowers. Fun fact! Bees can see a special kind of light called ultraviolet light. Remember when we were talking about light and how the sun gives off invisible light called ultraviolet light? Well, bees can see that light, but we can't. But we can feel it when we get tan or burnt. This is how we see flowers, and this is how a bee sees that same flower. SubhanAllah! Ultraviolet light helps bees find flowers. Allah says in the Qur'an,
ثم كلي من كل الثمرات فاسلكي سبل ربك ذللا يخرج من بطونها شراب مختلف ألوانه فيه شفاء للناس إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يتفكرون.
Allah guided the bees and told them, go make your homes in the mountains and in the trees and in the hives. Then he told them, go drink from the flowers, for they have yummy food for you. And right in the belly of the bee will come honey. SubhanAllah! Have you ever had honey? That comes From the belly of a bee. Bees have something called a honey stomach. Okay. I know what you're thinking. Bees have a honey stomach? That sounds fake. But it's true. Bees have a special stomach just for nectar. Not for digesting it, but for turning it into honey. Honey is an important food in Islam. In the Quran, it tells us there is healing for people. So next time you're feeling sick, maybe a spoonful of honey will help. My favorite. Bismillah. Remember when we learned about the purpose of the stem and how it takes water and nutrients from the soil all the way up to the rest of the plant? Well, let's try it out. Let's see it in action. What time is it? Experiment time. Not these. I'm ready. I have my buddy Ayub here, and he's going to help me with this experiment because he's going to have to make a very important decision in just a little bit. Before we get started, I'll tell you what you'll need. A spoon, a cup full of water, some food coloring, and the most important part, a flower. What you're going to do is you're going to put a few drops of food coloring into the water. Okay, Ayub, this is a very hard decision. What color do you think we should mix into the water? Red or blue?
Blue.
Blue. Okay. I'm going to put a few drops into the water.
And then I'll mix it.
And then you can mix it.
Blue.
All right, here you go.
All blue. I'm gonna go blue, Mom.
All right. Next, we're going to put the flower in the blue water. Here you go. And now the hard part. Now we wait. For a long time.
Yeah.
This is going to take a long time. But while we wait, let me explain what's happening. The blue water is climbing all the way up the stem, and you can see it a little bit in the petals. That's called capillary action. Have you ever spilt water? And a paper towel sucked it up? Ooh, the paper towel is all wet. That's called capillary action, when water moves up into tiny spaces. That's exactly what's happening here. In a little bit, the petals will be all blue. We just gotta wait a little longer.
A few moments later.
Whoa! The flower drank the blue water and its petals turned blue. This happens because of something called capillary action. It's the same process that helps plants drink water from the soil. Oh man, I didn't realize how important flowers are. Without flowers, there would be no bees and no honey and no fruits and vegetables. Allah says in the Quran, it is He who brings down rain from the sky. And from it, we bring forth vegetation of all kinds. Did you know that fruits and vegetables come from flowers? Flowers are a really important part of a plant's life. Without flowers, there would be no strawberries, and there would be no blueberries, and there would be no watermelon, and there would be no cucumbers, and no tomatoes, and no pumpkins, and no raspberries. Allah says in the Quran,
فلينظر الإنسان إلى طعامه أنا صببنا الماء صبا ثم شققنا الأرض شقا فأنبتنا فيها حبا وعنبا وقضبا وزيتونا ونخلا وحدائق غلبا وفاكهة وأبا متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم.
Allah sends down the rain, and from it we get grain from wheat, we get olives, dates from a palm tree, we get so many fruits and vegetables, and grass for the animals to eat. Allah provides for me and you, and everybody, even animals. Here's a little trick to remember, and it might be useful in just a little bit. If it grows from a flower and has seeds on the inside, it's a fruit. So things like tomato or cucumbers is considered a fruit. But vegetables are the other part of the plant, like the roots, the leaves, or the stem, like carrots from the roots, lettuce from the leaves, or celery from the stem. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rinad and I will be your host. Today on the game show, we'll be playing fruit or vegetable. Okay, let's see what our first item is. Aha! Strawberry. Is a strawberry a fruit or vegetable? Remember, fruits have seeds. Does a strawberry have seeds? It does! Good job! Strawberries are a fruit. Next, a carrot. Is a carrot a fruit or a vegetable? Does a carrot have seeds? I don't think it does. It's a vegetable. Good job. Next up, a tomato. Does a tomato have seeds? Is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable? I see seeds. Yes, it's a fruit. Good job. I don't like tomatoes. Next up, a potato. Does a potato have seeds? No, it doesn't. That means it's a vegetable. Good job. You're doing so well. Okay, we have one more. A watermelon. Does a watermelon have seeds? It sure does. Is a watermelon a fruit or a vegetable? A fruit. You did so good. Now you know fruits have seeds and vegetables don't. Good job. Oh, I'm just trying this tomato. Tomatoes are not bad. You never know you'll like something unless you try it. So without flowers, There would be no peaches. Where did that come from? There would be no bananas. What? There would be no watermelon. Don't throw a watermelon at me. That was a close one. What do these fruits have in common? They grow on trees. Trees can also grow fruits. They grow flowers and they grow fruits. So flowers don't just look and smell nice, they help our ecosystem. So what did we learn today? We learned that 1, flowers create their own food through the sun, leaves, water, and carbon dioxide. This process is called photosynthesis. 2, bees, insects, and other animals help pollinate flowers. And this is so important so flowers can make more seeds to feed more animals and insects. 3, Allah is Al-Khaliq, the creator. He created the seed, the sun, the water, everything a flower needs to survive. Subhanallah. It's quiz time. Let's see if you can get all these questions correct. Question number 1. What part of the flower do insects love to eat? Is it A, sand, B, nectar, or C, milk? What part of the flower do insects love to eat? If you said B, nectar, you're correct. Question number 2. What's missing from this equation? Sunlight plus carbon dioxide plus water plus blank equals food for plants. Is it A, leaves, B, clouds, or C, lava? What is missing from the equation? Sunlight plus carbon dioxide plus water plus blank equals food for plants. If you said A, leaves, you're correct. Good job. I can't believe how smart you are. Get it? Believe it. Question number 3. What is Allah's name, the Creator? A, Al-Hakim, B, the Almighty, or C, Al-Khaliq? What is Allah's name, the Creator? If you said C, Al-Khaliq, you're correct. Bonus question. What gives leaves their green color? Is it A, oxygen, B, chlorophyll, or C, water? What gives leaves their green color? If you said B, chlorophyll, you're a smarty pants. Good job. So let's remember, Allah made everything with balance and purpose, like the purpose of a flower and how it helps the world around us. I'm so excited. This is my favorite part. It's time for our art activity. What you'll need is a piece of paper, some tape, a marker, and some scissors. First, what you'll need to do is draw a flower. Make sure this flower has huge petals. You can draw any shape you want because flowers come in so many different shapes and sizes. Next, make sure you draw a stem. Next, make sure you draw leaves because without leaves, that flower would never grow. Now, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut inside the flower. Like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your tape and turn it around and tape the entire flower so the sticky side is in the front. Last one, I'm going to turn it around, take my tape, and cover the back. So your flower is gonna be sticky. Now you're gonna go outside and make your own flower. You can pick up petals from the ground or leaves, anything you want to put in your flower. This is my flower. I added petals in each petal. I added some lavender in the middle. It smells so good. And I added some yellow flowers. This was such a fun activity. You can do this at home with your grown-up. Let's read a book about the importance of being patient when you plant a seed. Because when you plant a seed, it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. When patience blooms. Aisha loves spending time in the garden with her mama. She runs, jumps, and spins in the sunshine. When mama is planting flowers, Aisha is chasing butterflies. The garden is full of fun, colors, and smiles. One sunny morning, mama gave Aisha a handful of tiny seeds. These are flower seeds, Aisha, mama said. Do you want to plant them and watch them turn into something beautiful? Aisha looked at the tiny seeds in her hand.
These little things? How can something so small turn into flowers?
Although Aisha wasn't sure how the tiny seeds would grow, Mama held her hand as they walked to the garden together. Aisha knelt in the dirt and made little holes, and Mama helped her too.
What happens next? Will they bloom tomorrow?
Asked Aisha. Mama chuckled softly. Not tomorrow, sweetheart. Seeds need sunshine, water, and time to grow. Allah teaches us to be patient. The next morning, Aisha ran to the garden with a big smile. She was so excited to see her flowers. But when she looked down, all she saw was dirt.
Huh?
Aisha thought for a moment.
Maybe they're just a little shy and need a little more time to come out.
Said Aisha.
Mama said I need to be patient, so I'll wait.
She said brightly. That night, Aisha went to bed early. She couldn't wait to check her little yellow pot again the next day. But again, when she rushed over in the morning, there was nothing but dirt. Aisha walked into the kitchen looking for Mama.
Mama.
Aisha said, her voice quiet and a little shaky. Mama was washing the dishes. She turned when she saw Aisha's sad face.
It's still just dirt. Nothing's growing, nothing at all.
Mama dried her hands and came over. She knelt down and looked Aisha in the eyes. Oh, my sweet girl, Mama said gently. It's only been 2 days. Mama placed her hands on Aisha's shoulders, giving her a warm hug. Seeds take time, just like all good things. Remember, Allah says, "Indeed, Allah is with those who are patient." Let's keep caring for the seeds and trust Allah's plan. Every day, Aisha checked the soil. She watered it, just like Mama said.
Whoa, is that a sprout?
The sprout kept growing, with more leaves each day. Aisha waited patiently as a little bud began to form. Soon, the entire pot was filled with beautiful flowers. They were all bright and colorful. Aisha couldn't stop admiring them. She twirled with joy.
I can't believe these came from these tiny seeds.
Mama smiled proudly. You did a good job, Aisha. You took care of them so well. Patience is like a seed too. If we take care of it, something beautiful always grows.